All right, what's up? We're live. Hey, everyone. How's it going? We are all together. Welcome to Photography Masterclass Live. Phil, Will, and Sam are all here
in
the same room. It should help with the technical difficulties. This is gonna be awesome. And so we're just gonna wait a minute or so to let some people join. But yeah, we're super excited for this February edition of Photography Masterclass Live. And we also want to welcome everyone who we invited from our other photography classes who recently joined the group and also are watching this live stream. We're happy to provide and just bring you into this community of photographers. And we're doing a lot of fun stuff here in the group that we felt it was worth it and deserving for you to take part in as well. So if you are watching live right now, let us know if you can hear us, if you can see us, if it sounds good, and let us know where you are watching from. We always love seeing where you are tuning in from around the world. And
we got Arizona, we got Ontario, Canada.
Nice.
There's more coming in here, I think.
How are you guys?
It's cold up there in Ontario.
How are you guys doing, by the way, while we wait a minute for people to tune in?
I'm good. Sam, how are you?
Doing well. Excited to be down in LA for a little bit.
Yeah.
Link up with you guys.
Yeah, we'll do a couple more little updates of what we've been doing. But Will was working on a feature film last month. I see people coming in from all over.
Malta.
South Africa. We got Israel, North Carolina, Mumbai, so many amazing places. We're so excited to have you here. And
Iceland.
We are sorry that if you can't make this live, if it just doesn't work out with your time. This just with our crazy schedules, with the schedule of my family, this is just the only time we have available right now. But potentially in the future, we can do a later time that can catch more people live. But let's get over to our slideshow so we can see what is on the docket for today. So today we're just going to do some updates. We are going to look over the wildlife competition results. We have our monthly camera chat, which you're going to participate in too. And then we're going jumping right into the Q&A. So if you have watched these in the past, you'll notice that we didn't actually request questions beforehand and we didn't ask for photos to critique live. We are going to be talking about our wildlife competition results. That's going to be our photo critique section for this live stream. And we realized last month we got so many questions during the live stream that we didn't really need to actually ask for questions ahead of time. So just to be able to handle everything a little bit better, we're kind of dumbing it down a little bit, toning it down, simplifying it, not dumbing it down, simplifying these things. So again, welcome everyone who's watching live. If you're watching the replay, welcome. Just some minor updates to just the group and everything. So coming up in the future, this might be the first time you're hearing about our competitions. And initially, these were just competitions for members of one of our courses, the Photography Masterclass. But it's always been a struggle to figure out how can we invite everyone from our other classes and from multiple platforms to participate, because we do have our courses hosted in different places. And we've finally figured it out. So we've actually purchased a tool that allows us to host photo competitions, and you'll be hearing, I guess, an update about that or an announcement for the next competition sometime in the next couple months. We usually have them once every 4 months, but I think with this tool, we'll be able to do them a little bit more frequent. Speaking of, last time it was kind of like crowdsourced for the competition idea. We had a lot of people asking for wildlife competitions. So my first question for you guys is, what competition do you guys want to have for the next competition? What style of photography? Or we could even dive deeper into, I don't know, something creative. I don't know.
A competition where you have to shoot one focal length or something?
Yeah, something like that with pick one subject to photograph. We kind of do that with the weekly photo adventures, but comment in the chat what you guys would want to do for the next photo macro. We don't have a macro competition yet, so that could be a cool one.
We've had portrait, landscape, wildlife. Yeah,
that might be it for this
so far.
for the new version of the class. Yeah. Yeah. So, macro. Yeah, I see lots of macro.
Black and white.
Black and white. Ooh, black and white would be cool
Black
too.
and white, and then it's just anything.
Yeah, then you
be
can do
macro.
anything.
Could be macro.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, you could do wildlife. Dang.
Wildlife, macro, black and white shot.
Yeah. My goodness, exploded. The same photo
destroyed
wins
the
every
photo.
competition.
Yeah.
Nah, just kidding. So that's coming up. And the other thing is that in future competitions, voting is going to be different. Well, it's going to be more similar to what you saw for the wildlife competition. But in the past, we've used the student vote in combination with our personal votes to pick a winner. But in the future, we're just going to leave it up to you guys. So the photo with the most votes is going to win. And this tool that we're using, it has a lot of like features where like people can only vote once, so we make sure it's like fair, so someone can't go in and vote a million times for their own photo. So we're going to be doing that, and hopefully that allows us to do more competitions in the future. A couple other quick notes: if you are brand new to this group, we have monthly photo editing challenges. This month is our second month doing that. And so in the announcements of the group, you can find a post that includes the instructions and also the file to download to practice. And it's actually something that I'm going to be doing myself. I'm going to be recording my own edit of that photo maybe next week, and I'll be posting it so I can participate along with that. And thank you for everyone who is including your hashtags on those photos that you're posting to Instagram. That helps us find them and spread the word about this awesome community. And then again, along with that, for new members, we have weekly photo adventures. And so you'll find a thread for a new photo adventure every Monday posted to the group. And lastly, just any personal updates. What have you guys been doing? Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the film you worked on last month. And
Yeah, so last month I was the director of photography, or the cinematographer, for an indie movie. It was about $1 million budget, just under, actually. It was pretty cool. We shot with 2 cameras. There's a lot of video sort of stuff. So as a director of photography, I was in charge of like the shots, the lenses, all the lighting. I worked with like a lot of different, like a crew basically.
Yeah,
I had,
like a big deal.
Lighting crew. Yeah, it was cool. And there's a couple of like B-level famous people in there, I think. So,
really?
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh,
We'll see.
neat.
We'll see when it comes out. I'll keep you guys updated as it comes out over the next like year or so. But
It'll be in theaters soon. This Christmas.
Coming to theaters near you.
but yeah, it was cool. And like I'm sure people know in the class, like that's my main thing is like cinematography and stuff like that. But obviously, like I came up as a photographer, so
yeah, and there's so much crossover and like the skills you need to know.
So much crossover, yeah. And like it was cool being on set and just like being around like just every day working with cameras.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Cool.
Sam, any updates? What have you been working since last month?
Not too much. Been enjoying Santa Cruz and just sort of. Actually, I've been taking a lot more photos.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
I've had time to actually just sort of go off and try new things. Got a new film camera, so I've been doing trying to fill the entire role of just portraits of friends, and so it's
that's neat.
sort of like a slow process because I have to get time with those friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a way to test out the first roll and go through that. And
Nice.
they actually opened a community darkroom in Santa Cruz.
Ooh, that's cool.
That's
Yeah.
super cool.
And so you're able to bring in your photos. The processing's really cheap, and then the actual renting the time of darkrooms is a bit more
That's
expensive.
so
but-
cool.
So they process the film, or you process it there?
You process it there. Although they have a machine, so you're not doing the little
like,
shaker
spinning
tub
thing?
things.
Yeah.
They have an actual machine, so it's it's like going to a Walgreens. Type
Yeah.
of thing. But then you can also go and actually do prints.
Your own print. That's cool.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I miss those darkroom days from high school. I took a class and was able to learn all that stuff. And I just remember like the smell, like coming out of there.
Yeah.
The smell. is-
Oh, just putting, turn on some music and just,
Yeah.
That's really, I will say, with photography, and maybe it's something we add, but printing. I mean, when you get to see your image actually printed out, that's the best.
And you
best
watch
thing
it
in the
like
world.
come to like when you're
a
developer and stuff.
And then you realize you expose it too long and it's blowing out. You're like,
Yeah. Cool. And it's something we've talked about doing a little film photography section or a new course or something like that. It's definitely on the docket. Personally, I've just same old, taking care of the kids. But I, like Sam, I've been taking a lot more photos. I don't know if it was before last live stream or after, but I invested in a couple new lenses for my Fuji. So I've got a big super zoom 100 to 400 millimeter lens that I haven't used too much. I'm going to be using that for some wildlife photography myself. And then I got an 80 millimeter macro lens, which has been really fun to just, and I just like was thinking like, those are like actually really they're bigger lenses, but they're fun lenses to carry around, because if you're like going out looking for wildlife, you're not always going to find wildlife, but you can like go around and get macro shots while you're waiting or whatever. So if you're out in nature. So that's what I've been up to. And if you check out our Instagrams, I know I've been posting daily. I've been trying to do that.
Oh, look at you.
So that's kind of one of my challenges for myself this year. So follow me.
It's been fun seeing those photos. It's always when you get a new lens too, seeing how you're using them. It's pretty cool to follow along.
And sometimes it really is, as much as we say you can take a great photo with any camera, sometimes you need a specific lens to get a specific type of photo, and that's what these new lenses allow me to do.
It helped me out. I had an event last week where I needed a second camera, and I came and took Phil's XT2 and your 16 millimeter. Is that what I took? Yeah.
Yep.
And it was nice having two cameras, and one was a wide, and it was Phil's camera.
Yeah.
Right. That's a crop sensor.
Yep.
So 400's like
600 or something. Yeah. And I got the 1.4 converters for it too.
So
I don't know.
You need to go shoot the moon, man.
Yeah. I can't wait for another.
Literally.
Right. yes, literally.
Get that moonrise shot, but it'll look all crazy because the optic thing. And
yeah. We'll do it. Cool. So those are updates. What's new with you guys? Chat in the comments. What have you been up to? Have you guys been trying anything new with photography, learning any new skills? We want to hear from you, and make sure you like and share this video as well. That always helps.
Everyone's saying Sam looks more awake.
Good.
I missed the last one. What happened? Were you sleeping?
I was recovering.
He was sick. He was sick. Big shout out to our top contributors for the past 28 days. So Facebook gives us these insights, so we know that all of you here have been great contributors to the group. So thank you. We appreciate everyone. Nilendu, Ajit, Bob, Liam, T, Jim, Papo, Melody, Jonathan, and Lindsay. Thank you so much for your contributions, and thank you to everyone who is posting and almost even more commenting on other student photography photos and questions and things like that. You really are helping us build a great community here for beginner photographers. I've gotten some comments just really enjoying this group, and I'm not gonna name any other groups, but comparing to some other groups that are a little bit more intense and maybe for a different type of photographer. There's a lot of groups out there that are for like people who are like, all of them are like super professional and things like that. And as much as we want you to be as professional as possible, like we want this to be a great community for beginners to help grow. So hopefully that's what we're creating for you guys. And if you have any suggestions for how we can do that even better, just let us know.
When people will post on there and it's, first time trying this, first time trying that. And there's some incredible photos on there. And it's so cool to see how this thing has grown and how it is like it's a safe place to be able to share your attempts at certain things, try different things, and that's what photography is all about. It's about trying those different techniques and being able to share it with a community that's not like gonna criticize it nonstop and actually adds
and for the amount of people in this group, we don't get that much spam, so thank you for that. And I know I've said that in the past, but if there are any spam posts, which there have been, just make sure you mark that, report it, and we'll delete it if it actually is spam. And also we have rules in the group like no critiquing, no harassment, or not no critiquing, no harassment, things like that. So if you ever feel like there's anything like that, just make sure you report it and we'll look at it. So thank you for that. Okay, let's move on to the actual what's happening in the show. Exciting stuff. Wildlife photo competition results. We had over 240 submissions this time. We had over 5,000 votes, and I think that next time we hold the competition, we're going to get a lot more submissions with the new system. So let's go through our personal top photos, and then also we'll show you who you voted for as the students. So I'll start with me. So we go in order, top to bottom. We've got, you get the full desktop so you can see everything. So I picked Sean Bailey. He was my first photo. Joanna, Kieran, and Deepesh. Just loved all these photos. There were so many great photos. It was really hard to pick my top ones. This top one just was a kind of a good story for me. I liked the symmetry and just the whole composition as well. But it was just like a nice, really symmetrical story. The one of the giraffes, I just really liked the silhouette. Just kind of a classic photo, but done really well. It's got like a nice backlight, and yeah, really pretty shot. This other one of this spider was just like really just was one of those photos where I saw it, I like had to go back and look at it again because I was like, wow, this is like a really good photo of this spider, and such great detail, perfect focus, the colors and everything I really liked. And then this last one from Deepesh, just a great sort of just bigger story wildlife photo. So it wasn't like just one animal, one element, but just stepping back. And here you can't see the whole photo, but it's just got this whole flock of birds in this nice shape. So
I'm into that one.
So Will's into that one, and we're gonna get to that right now because I think that was his top photo.
Yeah, I just think that that's like the definition of wildlife.
Yeah.
I think in the moment too, like that is a very like, it's not like anything else is like the buffalo that I have down at number 4, the bison. It's a still life and it probably wasn't moving very fast.
Yeah.
But that shape of that those birds are making in that configuration is like a split second.
Yeah.
And to me, it just speaks so much.
There's a lot of action in there.
There's just a lot going on, and just the photo itself just has so much movement. I would love to see that as a print.
Yeah, that would be
I would
cool.
totally have that in my house. I just feel like that's a really beautiful photo. I think that also looked pretty cool black and white too.
Yeah.
Add some contrast to it. I just think it's like so beautiful. I don't know.
What about your other photos?
The other ones, the sunset one with the dolphin. That's a dolphin, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Some sort of porpoise.
Orca.
Yeah.
No.
It was taken on porpoise. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. The sunset is rad.
Can you say that one more time so that like the audience can see?
It was taken on porpoise.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just good timing. Like I'm sure whoever took that photo, there's like a million other photos that they took in that same exact position and lighting. The snake one, I like the contrast. I feel like it was bigger. I mean, obviously, like these are down to squares or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of I crop them for
and
this.
the bison one, I just love that. I don't know. I feel like seeing an animal like all these, seeing an animal in its habitat like that, and the way it's exposed, and the way that it's kind of colder. I think you see snow on the ground, or you can just feel the coldness in it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just really spoke to me. And the distance is like really wonderful.
The thing, like, I'll just say is like there are so many great photos, and I hope this doesn't come off as a critique. Let me put myself on camera so you can see me actually saying this. But like, I think going to like a zoo or a safari park, or where the animal is like in a spot where you can easily photograph them, it's great for practicing. And there were a lot of great photos. But when I was like choosing photos, that was definitely something in the back of my mind. I was like, well, this photo, like, what was the difficulty in getting this photo?
Yeah, the technical side.
I think that's part of like wildlife photography, is like a great photo can't, maybe like a more difficult photo makes it even more impressive, at least for me, when I was like deciding which ones I was voting on. So seeing them like in their actual natural environment is pretty awesome. All right, let's get to Sam. Sam. Where am I? Okay, Sam, there you are. Sam. Rakesh, Juliana, Lidmila, and Deepesh. And the crop, I apologize, the crop isn't exactly what the photo was.
I'm trying to remember what's in the second
It's the little
turtle.
Spider turtle.
It's
thing.
Oh, the
It's
turtle.
yeah,
It's the
Oh, yeah,
reflection
right,
of
right.
the.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was a good one. I like
going
that
through
one
all
too.
these. I had a top 10,
Yeah.
and I think all the photos that we all picked were in that top 10, and it's really hard to sort of say which ones I enjoyed the most. The monkeys, I just it's nicely lit. They sort of camouflage into the trees, but you have the green background.
And this shot was actually a portrait shot, so
Yeah.
next time I'm gonna make sure that when we show them, it's the actual aspect of the photo itself.
Yeah, which I think would help. But it just is a nice moment. I like the eye contact. You know that the baby's looking off, but the adult is looking straight at us. It just seemed like a nice moment that was captured. I know I've shot monkeys in other places, and it's
With your camera, right?
With the
with
camera.
my camera.
Yeah.
I've taken photos of monkeys in
Yeah.
places, and it's tricky to get a still moment from them.
Yeah, they're always monkeying around, huh?
You're
That's silent
you're
today.
just going.
What was
today.
that, Will?
They're always monkeying around.
This is great. I miss being in the same room as you guys. The second one, turtles camouflage in the water. I just love reflection shots, and then to add an animal in there, I thought was really nice. Koala, I'm sure. Well, I've never been to Australia. I don't know how easy it is to shoot koalas. I feel like
Look at
that's
his face.
probably easier.
So good.
It's just so happy and like it. I don't know.
Yeah, I love that.
I could tell though, the quality of glass, like I think on the first one was a little bit higher. That one, like some of the chromatic aberrations or something just felt a little off to me, but I just like the moment. And then the birds, similar to Will, just a great moment out of nature. I do wonder out there if maybe waiting a bit longer to let the colors really pick up in the sky if the birds would have still been there.
Yeah.
Because I know I've seen that a similar image to that
Bit
where
more
the sky's
contrast or something.
really popping in the background. But I'm kind of glad that they didn't edit it like that. Like they left it natural looking, and that's a big part of wildlife photography. I think is leaving your lighting to look how it actually looked, and you're not going crazy with your colors and stuff. So
Yeah, totally.
It's a great selection of photos.
And let's see.
This one was really hard. I do feel like there was like so many photos. It was
Yeah.
just hard.
Well, let's see what the students themselves liked. So, a couple familiar shots. We've got the
Those are so good, too.
giraffe. So, Joanna again. Omar, this nice bird. Richard, great shot of this like chipmunk or squirrel. Yeah.
Squirrel.
And then Lyudmila, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your guys' names, but again with the koala shot. So great photos, and you all know why you picked your photos. So comment in the chat, why did you pick the photos that you voted for? And I'm sure there's some that you don't see here, but let us know what you were looking for in choosing your top wildlife photos. So, any last comments?
No,
before
just looking at that
reveal?
giraffe one, it really is a pretty incredible photo. You have foreground elements, background elements, how the younger giraffe is just
Pose.
perfectly.
It's got that little line that's in between.
Yeah, it's like, it's just, yeah.
And there's like, I like that. There's actually it's not completely silhouette.
Yeah, there's some texture in there.
You get some
And
texture.
some separation between the two. Yeah.
And
see
what I
the
would say
focus.
is like a beginner photographer would have tried to expose to the giraffes, and they would have been in focus or exposed, and the background would just be completely white.
Yeah.
So it took that creative decision, which
Or
I like.
fully exposed to the sun and had
Yeah.
completely blacked out silhouettes. But it's a nice gradient of light.
Yeah.
There's
Nice
a
little
yeah.
framing and
Yeah.
cool stuff. All right, so drum roll. After tallying the votes, we've got starting with our third place, Lyudmila Wagner with our koala shot. Beautiful photo, nice, pretty, great shot.
Calm.
Congrats.
Happy
We will be
koala.
contacting you to give you your prize. Next up, we got second place. Oh,
it is.
Joanna, some of the you could have guessed that one because that was on a couple of our top choices. And this one, you see the whole
crowd,
photo,
yeah.
the whole
Which composition is really great.
yeah, which is so. After kind of briefly going through these past ones, can you guys guess who's going to be first place?
I mean,
I saw it earlier.
Depeche, good job with this photo. Not only did we like it, but the students really liked it as well. It was one of their top. It got a lot of votes as well. So we're happy to give you first place for the wildlife photography competition. And like I said, I'll be contacting you to get your prizes. But that's not it, because we do have a participation prize, and anyone can win at this. In the past, it's been a little bit wonky, but we have an actual method for drawing randomly. So let's go over there. Let's see if this is the first time I'm going to do this. So let's see if we can pick our winner. So this is the tool that I'm using. This is our competition. We have 242 entries. So literally, I'm just going to click this button, and it's going to pick one photo randomly.
That's cool.
And then we'll have to kind of figure out, because I don't have the names on it, because the students didn't actually submit themselves. I had to do it. So we'll have to compare photos and find it. So let's do it. Drum roll. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, wow.
That's wow.
That's lucky, man.
Yeah.
That is lucky.
Serendipitous.
This was completely random out of all the photos. So this is that we saw that one. That was Omar.
Yeah.
Omar Amjed. So thank you. And again, just to clarify, that was a random drawing out of all the photos that were submitted. So I don't know, serendipity.
No.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it is a beautiful shot.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Well, congratulations to everyone. And keep chatting us what ideas you have for the next competition. If you have ideas, a lot of people were saying macro, but
Black
I don't
and
know,
white.
black and white. Anything else you guys want to take photos of? We'll be holding that. I don't know. Let's just pick a month. Not March. Let's do it in April. How about? Yeah, April. Yeah,
April.
yeah. April.
Gives us some time.
Yeah. Well, we'll
Will
think
it
about
end
it.
in
We'll
April?
think about it. We'll think about it.
Okay.
I don't know.
We're gonna think about it.
Yeah. I just have like 2 kids to take care of and have to figure out all the rest of the stuff I have to do in my life. So, but
We're gonna break Phil.
We'll do it. We'll figure it out.
We're gonna get through it.
All right. Next up, we have our camera chat. This is our favorite segment of the live stream where you get to participate as well. So we've been posing these questions each month, just hypothetical. Last month you missed out, so let's actually
what was it?
Let's make Will do it. If you had to switch from your current camera brand to another one, what would you switch to?
Can I go back to what I originally had?
No, you have to go to a new one.
Oh, no.
Move forward. Well, like some people might have owned like all the brands, but yeah. So you've used Nikon, Fuji, so you got to pick someone else.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. I would probably move in the direction of Sony.
I'm so glad you didn't say Canon.
Yeah, Well, I feel like Sony's got the mirrorless sort of full frame going on
You
in
got
that
the
direction.
EOS R.
I mean, first of all, never leaving Fuji. But if I had to, I would probably...
Not sponsored.
I'd
Hashtag
probably-
not sponsored.
Not sponsored. I probably would move on to Sony. I mean, they have the big sensor, and like I've seen a lot of cool stuff come out of your camera. With those Voigtlander lenses too. Yeah. And you can do video with them. Yeah, so yeah, probably Sony. That's a good one though. How did it go last
Did I
week?
say Sony too? I think I did say
thought you
Sony.
said Sony.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
He
Yeah,
said
right?
Fuji.
He did?
said
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
like-
pretty two-trick pony over here.
Yeah.
I know.
Canon and Nikon are great, like, obviously. Like, I would,
What about Pentax and Olympus, man?
Yeah, sure.
Panasonic,
I still use my Pentax
Kodak.
film camera.
My friend just got the GH5
Hewlett Packard,
and loves it.
GH5.
Yeah, he's really excited
Nice.
about it.
I mean, it's so good for video too.
Yeah.
I considered that when I got the Fuji because I was like wondering, oh, do I want something that does really good at video? But went with Fuji, and not looking back because now I have a bunch of lenses.
Yeah.
You're in, man.
No, the Fuji setup though, I do love the top dials.
Yeah. It makes it so fun.
I'm surprised more
It's fun.
camera
It makes it
manufacturers
fun.
haven't done that.
Yeah, it's like a camera that like I just enjoy picking up and just having fun with it. I just don't want to. I sold my. It's not a great camera, but it's a pretty good camera, but I sold my Canon 70D.
You sold your 70 finally?
Just because I was like not using it. It was just wasting space. And I was buying new lenses, so I was like,
well, you definitely got the use out of that.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You use that camera a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so this month's camera chat is pick one lens. If you had to, it could be a lens you have or one that you want. Excuse me, but pick one lens that you have to use for the rest of your life. Specific.
Like make and everything, or just like the focal length and f-stop?
Maybe focal length f-stop.
Okay.
Yeah, because So, and for everyone else, everyone who's watching, what lens would you use if you had to stay with one lens? Are we allowing zoom lenses? Yeah, I think. Yeah. Okay, so chat us in the comments.
They're starting.
What would you stick with?
35.
Will? Sam, any ideas off the top of your head? I haven't thought about it, honestly.
I immediately jumped to a 35, but I know that's like sort of a standard thing. I think lately I've been into a lot more portrait-y stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think I'd do 50. And I think when I was first learning photography when I was younger, a 50 mil was what I would basically rock all the time. And that was actually the first lens I bought when I was in high school. I thought I was spending tons of money, and it was $100. And I was like, I'm never going to afford lenses ever again.
Yeah.
But the 50 mil... works for me. It's a good walk-around lens. It's long enough that you can sneak photos if you need to. Mm-hmm. It's wide enough that you can step back and get some stuff. I mean, obviously 35 would be wider, but I don't know. 50 is just like a good, well-rounded walk-around lens for me. And the prime, so it's fast. Mm-hmm. It's like a 1.8 if you can.
You're talking about your Fuji?
Or 1.4. Right now I'm thinking of like my old Nikon 50.
Yeah. Because you have the 56 millimeter Fuji.
I do have the 56, which is like a little longer because of the crop.
Yeah.
I do have the 23 though as well, and that's my when I'm not doing anything and I'm just hanging out. That's the lens, I guess. Yeah. So that's what it is. You're right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the 23 mil is what I have on my Fuji when it's just in my bag every day.
Yeah.
So that's
Which is the 35.
Sam, what about you?
So can I sidebar really quick?
Sidebar. What do you guys want for lunch? Indian or Chinese? Ooh. Post in the comments. Indian or Chinese?
My friends pick Indian.
I vote Indian. We should do a 35 versus 50. Well, I guess not everyone has those. Like if we did a competition where it's like you post those two, so you don't know which focal length it is, and then at the end we'd reveal.
Or we just do a competition where it's just use one lens, use the 35 for all these.
I mean, you can only use one lens for a photo.
Everyone uses one lens.
Anyways, like my gut says 35 1.4. I actually have a 1.2 Voigtlander that I just love that focal length. As of late, though, doing more portraits and whatnot, I just got an 85 1.8, the Sony Zeiss Batis. Great lens, super lightweight, has the 85, like beautiful portrait lens. And what I've been realizing though with portrait lenses, I also I saw someone posted a 70-200 2.8. Love that lens. I love being able to be far away and zoom in and get like that beautiful fall off.
Yeah.
But then I went on this last trip and I only had the 35 with me as my only prime. And I got like when you shoot 1.4 at 35, it still has great fall off. You can get more of the body, or you can get really intimate and close up if you want that portrait.
Yeah.
I love that lens.
Yeah. I don't know what I would do, honestly, because I'm thinking about the lenses that I currently have right now, and I'm like, well, right now with my Fuji, I use and I've said this before, I use the 16 millimeter more than anything with my kids and everything. Right. But if I could pick one lens that I don't have, I don't know. I think I might go with a zoom. I think I would want to have some sort of variety.
But which kind of variety?
I think I would go for like, what's like the, because I don't have it, what's like the basic Fuji like zoom, like
16 to 35?
They have the kit one that's like the 18 to 55, like 3.
That's the kit one. That's a pretty good lens. Is there like a upgrade to that lens?
It's like what the Canon would, what would the
It's
Canon
like the 24 to 70.
It's like the 16 to 20 something, I think.
2.8. 16 to, okay. That might be the lens I go with.
It's just, yeah, I mean, that's like a really great mid-size,
standard
like
lens.
mid-range standard.
Use it for everything.
Lens. Really, like, it's like, we're using a 24-70 Canon lens right now. Like, that's the hero.
I mean, if I was
lens.
using Canon, that would be my lens. But I'm trying to think of Fuji, so...
Yeah, it'd be the same equivalent to that, though.
Yeah. So, okay, yeah, I'll say 24-70. Whatever brand
2.8, but like a
2.8.
Like a one f-stop all the way through.
Yeah,
Someone needs to do a documentary on that. Was that we talked about that? Like, that's like the hero lens for a lot of photographers.
That lens has been used.
And videographers. Like,
yeah, video and photo, that lens has been used on.
Because it can do everything.
It's in everyone's bag.
Dude,
Everyone has that.
This could be our documentary, because it's like the Helvetica documentary. It's just like 24-70.
Oof. What a cool title.
Comment in the chat. Good idea, bad idea.
Also, more Chinese food than Indian food, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll do Chinese food.
Okay, it's up to you guys.
But what plate?
Yeah, okay.
Here's someone suggested the 18-300 is great versus a lens. Being someone who cannot be bothered to carry around lots of lenses.
That's
18
true.
to 300.
That's the first lens I had.
4 though, right? Isn't it?
Well, I did 18-200 as my first lens.
Yeah.
3.5 to 5.6.
It's a big lens though, isn't it?
It's like that big.
Oh, really?
I mean, when it zooms out, like it adds some on front. And that's the 18-300. That was the best lens ever to learn on.
Really? Oh, because you
I
could
could do
jump around
everything
all the time.
Yeah, I had like wherever I was standing, I could pick whatever focal length, and it's great. I mean, there's a point when having something faster than 3.5 or 5.6 is necessary, but
I felt in my growing in photography, I've always wanted something faster than something longer, if that makes any sense. Like, I'd rather have a lens that can get more light than a lens that can reach farther away. But that's just personally what I shoot. I find myself in not bright places all the time.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, let's move on to the next segment, which is live Q&A. Awesome. So, questions. If you have questions, comment in the chat. Start commenting. Will's going to take care of all of that.
The earliest question we got was just a straight general question that we get all the time is like, what's a beginner camera?
What's a beginner camera?
the camera you can afford.
Whatever's in your pocket.
Yeah, I mean,
And still get a lens and still get some...
I mean, I think the biggest thing for this and for what we're doing is like something that you have manual control over.
Yeah.
Something you can afford, something that'll get you out shooting.
Yeah.
Like
The Canon EOS Rebels, I mean, most of those I feel like are really popular entry point camera. The Nikon D3000s or 5000s are pretty popular as well. And then
there's a smaller, like the Sony A6.
Yeah, the A6000, A6500.
Yeah.
The Fuji X100?
X100 or the
X100?
XT20?
XT20.
The XT10? I guess this XT20 is a new version of the XT10.
Yeah.
I'm trying to open up videoschoolonline.com. I'll show you guys what you guys should do right now. Let's go full screen. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit so you can see. Alrighty, how do we show? Okay, what you guys should do is go to videoschoolonline.com, click on photo at the top, and then down below, I actually have a bunch of articles on camera equipment.
Oh, I forgot about all these, yeah.
Let's see. Best entry-level DSLR camera. Guide to buying a used DSLR camera. These are a couple articles that I wrote last year that should help you if you're just getting started with camera equipment. There's also all kinds of stuff with lenses and all kinds of stuff over here. So definitely check out videoschoolonline.com for that kind of stuff.
You got a question there that hasn't popped up on mine for some reason. Should I buy my first DSLR or stick with my point and shoot Fuji camera?
Buy first, let's see. Ooh.
I think if you're getting into photography...
What Fuji is it that you have?
I guess, yeah, what Fuji is it? But if you're also getting into photography, and you're ready to, take that next step and you can afford it, I think it's time to, start moving either to DSLR or mirrorless or an interchangeable lens camera.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be how you're going to grow as a photographer and start taking the next steps to, making things look a little bit more professional and, I don't know, if you're trying to, it just depends what you're trying to do. If you're trying to start a business, be a hobby, depends on where you want to go with it. But that would be the next step to take, I think.
Can you guys see that? This blink on the screen?
It's a little delayed.
Oh, we're a little delayed. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. I mean, the thing is with getting a DSLR or mirrorless is like once you have interchangeable lenses, it like changes everything. And at the same time, it's sometimes like nice to go back to like just having one lens or just a point and shoot, but like it just changes pretty much everything.
Yeah, the manual. You have full control when you have a DSLR or interchangeable lens system. That being said, there's plenty of people that do amazing photography with point and shoots, their iPhones, all those things, and it's because they understand how the camera works. They understand what they can do with it. So
yeah.
But if you have a specific realm of photography you want to get into, there's benefits of putting on a telephoto lens. There's benefits of having control over what lenses you're putting on there, and point and shoot will be limited.
Yeah.
Do you all recommend the Nikon Z series? Have either of you used the Nikon Z series?
That's the new mirrorless.
I played with it.
Yeah, I haven't played with it.
What was it like? Did you like it? Do you recommend?
It's gotten good reviews.
Yeah, it's the only thing that bugs me about it is that Nikon, for so many decades, you could use any Nikon lens on any Nikon camera.
Yeah, that was the thing.
And for the first time, you can't do that. Granted, they have an adapter that's supposed to work great. I don't have experience with that. But no, I think it's a great camera. I would say, it's the Z6 and the Z7. The Z6 is, the more entry level, and the Z7 has higher megapixel count. But from what I can tell, it's comparable to most other cameras that Nikon has out. I think that the D850 is still their flagship, and I think first generation is I'm always a little hesitant with first generation. So I think waiting maybe for the second generation to see what else they do with that lineup. And also, I know that buying Sony early, I was frustrated because there just weren't that many Sony lenses out there. Mm-hmm. And the Z series doesn't have a full, kit out yet.
Yeah.
I feel like even Fuji is just getting to like a huge expansive amount of lenses. But when I got the XT1, like there really wasn't that much.
Yeah.
That being said, if you have the money for that and you're interested, I think it's a wonderful camera. I think it's a really great camera, and it's fun to be a part of a new technology within a company.
Yeah.
Nikon makes amazing glass. There's no doubt about that, and I think the camera's worked really well.
Cool.
Any more questions? Post your questions in the comments. So
we got some more if you're ready.
Yeah, we got some more. Okay, cool.
Has anyone ventured north to shoot the northern lights? I need some more information on how to get my images sharper. I use a Tokina 11 to 16 millimeter on a D7100 on a tripod. Also interested in learning to video them.
Ooh, the Tokina 11 to 16. We've used that lens a lot.
Classic lens.
Yeah, I used to use that. Sam's old Tokina 11 to 16 on my Canon a lot for video.
Love that lens.
Yeah, that's a good lens.
Have you guys shot the northern lights?
No.
Haven't.
I feel like you
Sam, why haven't you been there?
You look like someone that may have shot the northern lights for some reason.
Sam is
the northern lights.
The northern lights right now.
I'm trying to get there soon.
It's just a hologram of Sam.
Actually, up in Nova Scotia. No.
I've never shot.
In terms of getting them crispier, though, the only thing I can think of, if your image isn't sharp, is, are you shooting autofocus, shoot manual focus, and stop down your f-stop just to have more in focus? Like, if you're at 2.8, you might just be missing it slightly. I know that with the northern lights, to really get them pop, you have to do slightly slower shutter speeds. And so... yeah, I would just those two things, not going all the way to infinity a little bit beforehand. I mean, you have to test this all out, but and then if you can in the field, sometimes to guarantee things, looking at the back of your screen is not great. So having two cards, switch them out, and actually import to your computer so you can in the field see that it's as crisp as you want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's lots of... I mean, I feel like that's great advice for kind of any night photography, and we get those questions a lot, though, because it is tough.
And for video, I think time-lapse, like using a...
intervalometer.
Intervalometer.
opposed to actually just shooting video.
Yeah.
Got more questions.
Okay, next question. Let's get to it.
This one's probably better for Sam because he's done a little bit more of this again. But do you guys travel around the world sometimes? And if that's the case, where have you loved taking pictures?
Sam, is your website up? Do you have like a cool website that has like all your travel photography?
Nope.
Why?
I don't know. I'm lazy.
That's what we teach in this class, man.
Okay. Next month's goal. I've been saying this a long time. I'm going to get my photography up on my website. I've gotten to get to over 50 countries now. I think I'm at like 56, 58.
This guy, it's pretty awesome.
Want to think about it for a second because I have a quick answer.
Okay.
I've traveled not as much as Sam, but like a decent amount. I did a shoot, and usually it's for work on video stuff. And I think when I went to Brazil, just being somewhere that was so different than where I grew up that I couldn't access by car allowed me to have some like incredible images. And so the places that I've been to like decent amount, but not like a ton. Brazil and the Amazon was probably my favorite place that I've taken photos.
Yeah, I'll just answer quickly. Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to travel to a few places. I don't travel as much as I would love to, but a couple of my favorite places have been to India. That was just one of the most incredible experiences. And again, I think part of it is just the culture being there was so different than being here in Los Angeles. And so
it's inspiring.
I think wherever you come from, that's always like one of the best parts is just going somewhere that's completely different. So I went to Australia, loved going there, but it was very similar to just the architecture. Everything was very similar here. So for me, it wasn't as fun to take photos there, even though of course I had fun taking pictures there. Went up to the Great Barrier Reef. That was amazing too. But going to a place like Mexico or Chile or India for me, just because it was a little different, was really cool for me.
Okay, yeah, that's
Sam,
that's
the true answer.
No,
the
that's
expert.
the best part. The best part of travel and all that, and especially just walking around with the camera, is experiencing different cultures. And it's really hard. I don't think I could say that I have a favorite necessarily. They've all been wonderful experiences, but the Middle East, Lebanon was pretty incredible. Morocco, again, like cultures that were so foreign to me. And then this last trip, I made it up to the Himalayas, which being at the foothill there was pretty incredible. Yeah. In Pakistan.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If you haven't liked this video and you're enjoying what we're doing today, hit that like button, hit the hearts, leave us a comment, let us know what you think.
Hearts.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next question is there any difference in quality of images that come from a mirrorless compared to a DSLR for large gallery prints?
No.
Yeah, I don't think that the difference between mirrorless and non-mirrorless matters in the image quality. It's the megapixels and the sharpness of what you're doing.
The glass.
The lens you use, it's everything.
The sharpness you can create through the glass or whatever. But
and even with megapixels, unless you're going
Thank you for the hearts.
unless you're going bigger than a poster size, you don't need 42 megapixels. Like the D850 and the Sony A7R III, you really have that megapixel count so you can do a poster on the side of a building. Like you don't...
And realize like if you get that camera, you're like filling up hard drives like so fast
so
if you're
many
shooting
hard
raw.
drives.
Which is it can be intensive if you don't need that many.
I can't wait to show you guys,
pixels.
but at the end of this month, I'm sure you remember the photo, but I'm picking up a 20 by something. I think it's 20 by 30, maybe something. I don't know. It's huge. It's like this big.
20 by 30 inches.
Of a picture I took of the Grand Tetons with my Fuji X-T1 and the kit lens, and I'm having it framed, and it is great. It is sharp, and that is like a mirrorless, cropped, censored camera, and it's big print, and it looks...
Have you seen it at 28 by 30
Yeah,
yet?
it looks great. I printed it out. It's wonderful. But I'm going to show you guys.
This guy doubting.
Man, how to be motivated as a photographer. How do you guys stay motivated as a photographer, create websites, and do stuff?
Ouch.
Ooh, that's a great question. I think that's something we all go through is
big time.
like just not feeling motivated to go out and take new photos. I think it's like anything, any goal, any project you work on, any hobby. It's like it is a challenge to stick with it. Like for me, for example, this year I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to post one photo on Instagram per day, and that's just like this arbitrary thing, but it's helping me to go out and take more photos. I think the other thing is just bringing your camera with you wherever you go.
Yeah, that's
just like
just take it.
Just take it, even if it's like a kind of a hassle.
Get over it.
Just bring it. Yeah. Just you never know what you're gonna see.
That's always been my problem. Is like I'm like, oh, should I take my camera? Is it charged? I got to remember to do this. And I think having a smaller lens or like a prime lens has helped me with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then just being okay with taking it places and getting used to it. Even if you don't take any photos, the moment that you are there and you see with something that you want to take, you'll have it. And honestly, like your smartphones are great too. Like just taking more photos, I think helps me stay motivated. Even if you don't post them, just the act of mentally doing that helps a lot.
You don't need to post them.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I've been running into is I love like saying these different things. I just got a film camera, so I'm going to take portraits of all my friends, and it's like something that
cool.
I can do on the side and think about. But at the same time, I went off and took photos with this dancer. And, there's a difference of taking photos for fun and then taking photos for someone. And I think you have to, it's hard when it's actually work. And I just got through the photos, and there's a couple I liked, but I wasn't excited necessarily about that many of them. And it really weighed on me because I was like, oh man, I just wasn't feeling it. I'm not that excited about the end product. And then at the same time, there was one image I liked, but I don't know. It's hard to like stay motivated because sometimes you go out and shoot and you're like really pushing to get a great shot and you don't get it.
It's tough because like photography is like it really is that point of technical like information and like science and all this stuff with just this art, just creativity and like that's the battle that you have to sort of like kind of find cohesively.
But you have to just keep going out and shooting.
Yeah,
you have to keep taking photos. You have to keep putting yourself in situations to try new things, to spend the time editing. I mean, it's
going out with fellow photographers can also be helpful too, rather than just like trying to do it yourself. One thing that we do and hopefully is motivating is every Monday we post a photo adventure giving you a prompt to go take a certain type of photo. And so hopefully those kinds of things too, and you can find them online like photo challenges or things like that. But in this group, we want to help motivate you to take photos. And so maybe, this week's prompt was take a photo looking through glass, and maybe that's something you never thought about or never did, and it just forces you to get out there and try something a little bit different. So hopefully that helps.
And then I love going through those and seeing what people come up with.
It's cool
because it sort of feeds that creativity. I think also seeing what other people do with their photography is really cool.
Yeah,
which is great with the group. I feel like more motivated seeing all these students do stuff. I'm like, oh man, I need to get out there and be better.
Always.
Can you suggest one lens for Canon which is enough to cover wedding events?
Ooh.
Literally, I was at the 24-70 2.8.
See, I would say 70 to 200 2.8.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I would say 72.
At a wedding, I'd rather be able to.
Well, okay, that's so hard though because you're gonna need those wide shots.
He's shot a lot more weddings than we have, so
take his advice.
Listen to him.
The 70-200 is great, and it will get you that first kiss. It'll get you the wonderful single portraits. It'll get you standing back and not paying attention. But the second they ask you to take the family photo, or the second they ask you to take like any other sort of picture, and at a wedding, you're the photographer. You can go wherever you want. You can go wherever you want.
Yeah, that's true.
And so
24-70.
24-70. You have a 70. Walk up there. Like,
what about like what's the 24 to 135 or 18 to 135?
Yeah, that's a good one too.
24 to.
It's an f4 though, right?
105.
24 to 105.
F4.
Yeah.
See, the problem I have with that though is any wedding situation, you never know what's going to happen.
If you're on a Sony. Well, no, wait.
Canon, sorry. 2.8, 24-70 is the all-around workhorse for any situation that you're guaranteed to be able to figure out. Like anything else, you'll have a little trouble.
Just make sure when you go and take portraits that you're at the 70 end of the spectrum.
I mean, there's ways to treat it that you have to
like the 24 for a group shot, sure, but if you take a 24 of two people, it doesn't look as nice as 70.
I want to. Should I keep going?
Keep going. We got like 5 minutes. We got time.
I want to go for architecture and interior design photography. What kind of lenses would you recommend for that? I have a crop
Tokina.
sensor.
Tokina.
I'm wondering what camera they have, but something wide for sure. I would say.
That Tokina 11 to 16,
No,
2.8.
I think all the pro, something like that. If you want to get on the pro level, what do you call it?
12 to 24.
Yeah, 1224, but it's also the
Tilt shift.
tilt shift. Thank you. The tilt shift helps you create straighter lines in architecture and.
But for interior,
when you're that wide.
Would you want that
I don't
for
know if
interior?
you use that for interior. I'm not much of an interior.
I think it's more of a.
But for architecture.
Yeah, for architecture, definitely.
Interior, just like a nice wide.
Yeah,
lens.
anything like 10 to 18 would probably be good
And you don't
on a crop
always have
sensor.
to. You don't always have to
Yeah.
be a wide. You don't always have to be wide open too, because for interior stuff, you can take your time, set up a tripod,
Long
have
shutter.
a longer exposure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which camera? Which camera is good for wildlife photography? DSLR or mirrorless?
Ooh, that's DSLR or mirrorless.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. The thing is, like some DSLR cameras, you have faster shutter or
Yeah.
faster.
You have the
frames.
live view. You're not looking through an EVF, so it's
Yeah, and you can
milliseconds difference. But
and you can take more like faster burst. That's
On
what I'm
DSLR.
talking about. Some DSLRs.
I guess it depends on what level you're.
It just
shooting
depends on what
money-wise, yeah.
camera, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's the thing. If you're
Depends on your budget.
looking into a camera for wildlife, it doesn't matter mirrorless or DSLR, but look into those things like the burst rate. I don't know what else you would look at.
whatever you can afford after you buy that 400 millimeter
Yeah,
lens.
the lens is more important to do wildlife.
And it's
than,
going to cost more than your camera, probably.
for sure. Yeah.
mirrorless is quieter if you're trying to be real quiet.
That's true.
Yeah.
You want to scare away the.
I mean, everything's going towards mirrorless. This is a photo chat. Is everything
Yeah.
going to be mirrorless in 5 years?
If they can
Yeah,
weather
why not?
seal them,
Yeah.
I just don't get why they don't weather seal them.
Isn't the
Fuji's a weather seal?
Yeah.
They're not. It's not full frame.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Full frame,
excuse
guys.
us.
Come on.
Excuse us.
The Nikon Z and the Canon R are those?
Actually, I think they. Well, none of them are at that same level where you can take them into the Arctic. Grant, none of us need this, but it's like,
Just in case.
Just in case you got that Arctic South Pole
hey, you know,
trip.
we got someone shooting the Northern Lights.
How can I make sure my pictures are in focus? They look good on the camera screen, but then on the bigger screen, they are not so good.
Interesting. That could be your
Lot of
lens. It could be your shutter. It could be the focus of your lens. It could be the shutter speed. It could be the quality of the lens.
The autofocus, yeah. I mean, it could
If
be,
you're if you're using sort of a kit zoom lens like the 55 to 200 that comes with a lot of kits, those are just always kind of soft.
Yeah.
If your shutter speed's oftentimes under 1/60th
there's
or 1/100th.
yeah, there's a two tricks that I do when I'm questioning it, like, and I think I used to do this at weddings a lot. Before you shoot it, you can do there's a focus check on some cameras where you can pop in on the back before you take it. After you take it, if you play back, I sometimes on cameras a spin wheel in the back, you can crash zoom in on a photo that you've taken and just check and see if it's in focus.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can do it in the field. And then if it's not in focus, you need to make the right adjustments. But that's the best way to check.
Look at your autofocus modes too. There's different. It's different for every camera,
Yeah.
but you can do single point where you're just picking a point. Most cameras have face detection, eye detection. So play around with those different modes just to see what is going to work for you. Different zones. Yeah. So
Yeah, I think the playback crash zoom is
Yeah.
good. So I think this was in reference to your website. What is the best self-hosted, preferably free photo gallery software? Phil, like you use WordPress. You have any You have a good recommendation?
free software. I mean, if you're just looking for somewhere free to post your photos, I mean, you could build a great gallery on like Flickr,
Instagram.
Instagram. I mean, yeah, Instagram. If you have a website, you can embed like an Instagram feed on your website. Like most web
Yeah,
platforms have
It
a.
seems like he's talking about self-hosted. So probably
self-hosted.
building a website, I imagine.
I mean, that's honestly see.
None of it's free. You have to. I mean, for a domain, for
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be
WordPress is free,
self-hosted,
isn't it?
you have to pay for hosting.
You have to pay for
Oh.
I mean, you can start a WordPress.com like blog site or website, but there's going to be ads on there, so it's not.
and limitations of how much space you can upload.
Yeah. I would start with Flickr as a place to build like your own portfolio. It really just depends on what kind of customization you want. I mean, all these other places, there's like SmugMug, and we have a list in the class. So look at the section on building out a portfolio. We have a list of different platforms. Some of them might have like a free plan where there's like advertisements and things like that. But self-hosted. What do you use for your wedding stuff?
I pay for Zenfolio.
Yeah, Zenfolio. I
And
don't think
I
they
pay
have
for it a lot.
Yeah.
Because I leave them hosted up for couples to go look at it forever. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
they're all password protected and they can share with whomever. And like,
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah. I do it professionally.
Flickr's a really popular choice, though. I mean, I feel like people really like that platform, and there's a good community on there of sharing photos and getting inspiration from other people.
Yeah.
I think if you've got the money, like some of this stuff too is like, I think Zenfolio has a $10 a month thing maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And you can create your own. You can create client views and stuff. I guess it just depends on what you're doing, but
It really is, though. Having an Instagram account and linking that onto your WordPress or whatever, it's...
Yeah, I mean, I do that on my cinematography page.
Yeah, it's kind of a great...
Yeah, no, that's
way.
great, especially if you if you're like only posting your best stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, or if you
is
create
there
two
ways
accounts,
to
you can create two accounts and just have a personal account that you post whatever, and then have a professional
smart.
photography account.
Yeah.
That's where you really take your time, and you can actually create a business profile on Instagram for free.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Links to
probably
your Facebook.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best option for me.
Cool.
How can I clean my camera and lens properly? How can I take good care of it in general?
We have a lesson in the photography
About cleaning
masters
lenses,
class,
yeah.
but I realize that some of you might not be in that class. So, tips for that?
I think it's wasteful what I do, but I invested in a big box of the Zeiss lens wipes that are like individual. It's like handy wipes almost, but they're
Alcohol wipes.
Yeah, they're meant for glass. They're by Zeiss, and I have a big box of them, and I literally take a pack and put them in all my camera bags, because I never have time to before a wedding, the night before, I'll sit down and I'll clean everything. But I take those alcohol wipes and I use those. And then on movie sets, when I'm on set for those lenses, my assistant cameras use Pancro, which is like a solution with a lens wipe, and they spray it on the lens wipe, and then they spray it and then they use it on the lens. But I mean, you can get more detailed, but that's my general way of cleaning stuff. But I always have those wipes; they're everywhere.
Yeah, wipes, aerosol can, just to blow dust off your camera body itself.
Oh yeah, and don't keep your camera out at your home. Like, put it in a bag, put it in a case, because dust will get on it and get in it. Like, just keep it.
Good advice.
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
I'm not saying anything because I shouldn't say.
I
what
keep my professional camera. I keep in my bag all the time, no matter what.
That's what we have to tell them.
Yeah. How can I clean my? Yeah. Okay.
What's this one? I don't know if this is live, but I would like to ask a question.
It is live.
We are live. This is Sony. I have a Sony A7.
Woo! Best
Bought
camera
the
out.
50mm lens for it, and I'm trying to buy additional lenses. My question is, can I buy a different brand of lenses and get the adapter for it? If yes, what do you guys recommend for my camera that would work best with my Sony A7?
I do not
You
recommend
can.
the adapter.
You can, but
There's a Sigma adapter for Canon lenses. I don't recommend it if you use autofocus. If you don't care about autofocus, yeah, get an adapter, use whatever lens. But
there's enough lenses though built for
Sigma has a full
Sony.
lineup of E-mount lenses now. There's tons of Sony options. They are a bit more expensive than others, but the Sigmas are decently priced. And yeah, it kind of depends what you're looking for. The 50, I don't know which one you have, but if you have the 50 1.4 or even the 1.8, it's great piece of glass. And yeah, my experience with the autofocus and the adapters, it ruins the whole experience of a Sony. You have such incredibly fast autofocus with that camera. If you're shooting video, since you have the A7 though, getting the adapter doesn't matter as much because you can manual focus with the lens.
Cool.
Next one. Do you really need a full frame body for indoor events photography? Can we get the same results with a cropped body? Yes.
Yes.
Full frame definitely helps with the amount of light. It would help if you had a faster lens to help that. But literally all the events I do, I just did a corporate event and it was at night indoors. I borrowed Phil's XT2 to go with my XT2, and I got some great results with my cropped camera.
Yeah. Main thing is to go into spaces that are similar lighting beforehand and
test it. Yeah.
Know what your camera is capable of. How high of an ISO can you push it? You know, what lenses do you have if they are slower? Make sure people are standing in certain areas. If you have any control over like the event and how you can place people.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we're past the top of the hour, so we're gonna try to cram through the rest of these questions, and we'll be live for another 5-ish minutes. So someone asked, I don't know if you saw this one, Will. I'm gonna post this one. What is your favorite type of photography? Chat to us in the comments what your favorite type of photography is. I think overall,
portraits,
landscape, maybe. I don't know. I like. I don't know what.
I don't really
what
have a
style
favorite.
Is my favorite, but I've been enjoying macro this month because I have a macro lens now. But overall,
I like all of it.
Yeah.
I like taking pictures of people.
I like being somewhere where I'm wanting to take a landscape because then it's probably pretty beautiful, whatever I'm looking at.
Yeah.
But I like the idea.
You're so landscape.
I know, but I like the idea of looking back on my photography and having photos of all my friends and family and people that I interacted with, and so I'm
maybe
trying to do more portrait.
I don't call myself a street photographer at all, but I feel like that's what I enjoy a lot, is just going out and taking pictures of places and people, not necessarily just landscapes or just wildlife or portraits, but just everyday kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Architecture.
Can I do one last question?
Yeah.
I feel like Sam might know more about this.
Yeah.
My husband and I are divers. Can you recommend us a budget underwater camera or housing for our DSLR Nikon?
Ooh. I was looking at the Nauticam, and instead I got the Aquatech housing. Nothing's going to be necessarily cheap, especially for housing a DSLR. The Aquatech, they just came out with an Axis Go, which is actually water housing. I think it's rated up to 60 feet for your iPhone. And that's probably the cheapest option. Or a GoPro, going to be extremely a cheaper option. Otherwise, I'm sure you've Google searched. There's really Nauticam, which is the expensive one, Aquatech, which is the less expensive one, and I think there's one more housing out there. But those are sort of the ones I'd recommend. If you're proper diving to depths, investing in a Nauticam is the way to go, which is kind of silly because it costs significantly more than your camera. But yeah.
Cool. We're going to take one. We got one more question that we're going to answer today. And if there's any more questions, we'll try to respond to them in the comments afterwards.
So this is the absolute last question. We get this question a lot, which is why I feel like we should put it in. But hi, I have a Nikon D3400 and have kit lens 18 to 55 and 75 to 300. Can you suggest a lens that is best suited for portrait photography?
So you got the Nikon D3400. So that's cropped. Yeah.
So one of those, a prime lens at that's equivalent to a 50. So what, a 30? I don't know.
35 something.
35 or 50 mil lens.
Or or go up to like a 50 or 85.
Yeah. But a prime lens with that doesn't have to be super fast, but something that at least opens up to a 2.8.
At least 2.8 for sure.
For portraits. I think that's the best portrait lens.
There's that there's the 35 DX 1.4, which was one of my favorite lenses when I had Nikon. It's a 35, so it's not as telephoto as I'd typically recommend.
Is that 1.4? You said it was 1.4?
It's a 1.4. Yeah. It's super small and compact. It's nice and discreet. I love the 35, so I'd recommend that. But some people would want a slightly more zoomed in for portraits.
I mean, the thing with it just really depends on what types of portraits you want. Because even like a 50 millimeter or an 85, that could be pretty tight for if you're getting like any kind of like group shots or couples or things like that where you want anything a little bit wider. So
Yeah.
Like a 35 could be good, but for actual like nice headshot portraits, maybe like a 50 or 85.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
And
yeah. Okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
Make sure you look at the difference between a DX and an FX, because the DX will actually, like a DX 35mm is actually a true 35mm on your DX camera. But if you ever upgrade your camera to a full frame one, you won't be able to use those DX lenses. So something to think about.
Awesome.
It's just,
It's true. It's true.
You're gonna
Yeah.
spend the money.
Yeah, it's true.
Jeez.
I love it.
All right. Well, thank
I
you
love having
everyone for being here today, guys. Thank you for coming down to LA or coming out to San Dimas and joining.
So Divas football rules.
I hope everyone enjoyed all of us being in the same room. I know I did. I think we get our flow, our mojo together. So, well, next month we'll be doing our next live stream. You could count on us for that. Make sure you are liking this group. You are reviewing the classes that you're in. That's, again, one of the best ways that you can show support for us and this group and the classes is to go to the classes wherever you're watching them and leave a review. That helps future students find out about them and know if it's the right class for them or not. And it just really helps us out. So if you're watching this right now, please head over to Udemy or Skillshare, wherever you're watching this. Go to the class and leave a review. And then every week we're going to be doing the photo adventures. Make sure you hit up the February photo editing challenge. And anything else? I think
Go shoot photos.
Go
Keep
shoot
taking
photos.
Keep
Yeah.
taking them.
We love you guys. And have a great day. Have a great week. And we'll talk soon.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yep. Follow us on Instagram. Bye.